An ordinary day turned extraordinary. The Galactic Academy for Higher Learning, a beacon of knowledge in the far reaches of the universe, buzzed with its usual activity. Students from countless alien species hurried to their classes, their tentacles, claws, and appendages clutching advanced textbooks and holographic datapads. Amidst the sea of diverse life forms, a new presence caught everyone's attention. A human girl named Lyra. Whispers echoed through the halls as the first-ever human student made her way to the admissions office. Dean Zyloff, a tall, slender being with luminescent skin, greeted Lyra with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. "Welcome to the Galactic Academy, Miss Lyra. Your arrival has certainly caused quite a stir." Lyra, her hazel eyes shining with determination, smiled politely. "Thank you, Dean Zyloff. I'm honored to be here and eager to learn from the best minds in the galaxy." As the dean processed her enrollment, Lyra couldn't help but notice the stares and murmurs from the alien students around her. She knew her presence was unprecedented and that she would have to work hard to prove herself in this advanced academic environment. Professor Xanthos, a renowned quantum physics instructor with a reptilian appearance, approached Lyra. "Ah, our new human student. I must admit, I'm intrigued to see how your species fares in my class. I hope you're prepared for the challenges ahead." Lyra met the professor's gaze, unflinching. "I'm ready to learn and contribute, Professor Xanthos. I won't let you down." As she stepped into her first class, Lyra felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She was ready to embark on this incredible journey, knowing that her actions would not only shape her own future, but potentially change the galaxy's perception of humanity. Little did anyone know, Lyra's presence at the Galactic Academy would set in motion a series of events that would challenge the very foundations of the alien society and showcase the incredible potential of the human spirit. Navigating an alien environment, Lyra quickly discovered that life at the Galactic Academy was unlike anything she had ever experienced on Earth. The advanced alien technology that surrounded her was both awe-inspiring and overwhelming. From the self-adjusting gravity seats in the lecture halls to the holographic displays that replaced traditional textbooks, Lyra had to adapt fast to keep up with her classmates. But it wasn't just the technology that posed a challenge. The alien customs and social norms were equally foreign to her. She learned that direct eye contact was considered rude among the insectoid Zerkians, while the telepathic Colnari expected a mental greeting before any verbal communication. Despite the cultural barriers, Lyra was determined to succeed. She spent long hours in the library, poring over the alien texts and seeking out the guidance of her professors. Slowly but surely, she began to find her footing in this strange new world. In Professor Xanthos' quantum physics class, Lyra's unique perspective started to shine through. When presented with a complex problem involving subatomic particles, she approached it from an angle that none of her alien classmates had considered. Her creative solution caught the professor's attention, and he begrudgingly acknowledged her potential. However, not everyone was as open-minded. Some of the alien students, like the arrogant and competitive Zorax from the planet Aldebaran Prime, dismissed Lyra's contributions as mere luck. They believed that a primitive species like humans could never truly grasp the intricacies of their advanced studies. Lyra refused to be discouraged by their skepticism. She knew she had earned her place at the academy and was determined to prove her worth. With each passing day, she grew more confident in her abilities and more determined to leave her mark on this alien world. As the semester progressed, Lyra's professors began to take notice of her brilliant mind and tireless work ethic. They started to see past her human exterior and recognize the potential within. But Lyra knew that her journey was far from over. She still had much to learn, and even more to prove, not just to her alien peers, but to herself as well. Rising to the challenge. As Lyra's reputation grew, so did the expectations placed upon her. Professors began to call on her more frequently in class, seeking out her unique insights and innovative problem-solving approaches. At first, Lyra was hesitant to speak up, fearing that her ideas might be met with ridicule or dismissal. But as she saw the genuine interest and respect in her professor's eyes, she began to find her voice. In Professor Zyloff's advanced engineering course, Lyra truly began to shine. The class was tasked with designing a new type of spacecraft engine, one that could harness the energy of cosmic rays for propulsion. While her classmates struggled with the complex equations and theoretical principles, Lyra approached the problem from a different angle. Drawing on her knowledge of Earth's scientific history, she proposed a design that incorporated elements of human ingenuity, a fusion of alien technology and human creativity. To everyone's surprise, her design not only worked but surpassed all expectations. The engine was more efficient, more powerful, and more stable than anything the Academy had ever seen. Word of Lyra's achievements spread quickly, and soon she was the talk of the Academy. Alien students who had once dismissed her now sought out her advice and collaboration. Even the most skeptical professors couldn't deny her brilliance. But not everyone was thrilled with Lyra's success. Zorax, the competitive Aldebaranian student, grew increasingly resentful of the attention she was receiving. He had always been the top student in his class, and he couldn't stand the thought of being overshadowed by a mere human. As Lyra continued to excel, Zorax's jealousy festered into something darker. He began to spread rumors about her, questioning the legitimacy of her achievements and suggesting that she was somehow cheating. Some students, still harboring prejudices against humans, were all too eager to believe his lies. Lyra, however, refused to be dragged down by Zorax's pettiness. She knew that her accomplishments spoke for themselves and that the truth would eventually come to light. She continued to pour her heart and soul into her studies, determined to prove that humans were just as capable as any other species in the galaxy. Little did she know that her greatest challenge was yet to come, one that would test not only her intellect, but her courage and resilience as well. An unlikely alliance. The annual Galactic Engineering Competition was the most prestigious event at the Academy. Students from across the universe competed in teams to create groundbreaking inventions that pushed the boundaries of science and technology. Winning the competition was a surefire way to secure a bright future in any field of choice. Lyra knew she wanted to participate, but found herself struggling to find teammates. Many of the alien students, still influenced by Zorax's rumors, were hesitant to work with her. Just when she was about to give up hope, an unexpected ally emerged. Kix, a quiet and unassuming student from the planet Zephyria, approached Lyra with a proposition. Kix was an outcast among his own people, a brilliant mind ostracized for his unconventional ideas. He saw in Lyra a kindred spirit, someone who understood the pain of being judged and underestimated. Together, Lyra and Kix formed an unlikely team. They pooled their knowledge and skills, working tirelessly to create a project that would showcase the best of human and alien ingenuity. Their invention was a revolutionary energy device that harnessed the power of dark matter, a feat that had long been considered impossible by the scientific community. As the competition drew near, Lyra and Kix's invention began to gain attention. Professors marveled at their innovative design and flawless execution. Even their fellow competitors couldn't help but be impressed by their work. But Zorax, fueled by his jealousy and resentment, refused to let Lyra succeed. On the eve of the competition, he snuck into the lab where Lyra and Kix's device was stored. With a few quick keystrokes, he sabotaged their invention, causing a dangerous malfunction that threatened to derail their chances of winning. Lyra and Kix arrived at the lab the next morning to find their device in shambles. Smoke billowed from its core, and the energy readings were off the charts. They knew they had only hours before the competition began, and the task of repairing the damage seemed insurmountable. But Lyra refused to give up. She had come too far to let Zorax's sabotage destroy her dreams. With determination burning in her eyes, she turned to Kix and said, "We can fix this. We just need to think outside the box, like we always have." And so, with the clock ticking down, and the odds stacked against them, Lyra and Kix set to work on the most important challenge of their lives: ingenuity under pressure. The lad was a flurry of activity as Lyra and Kix raced against time to repair their sabotaged invention. They worked seamlessly together, their minds perfectly in sync as they troubleshot the device's complex systems. Lyra's quick thinking and unorthodox methods proved invaluable. She suggested using a material native to Earth, a rare mineral known as unobtainium, to replace the damaged components. Kix, drawing on his vast knowledge of alien technology, found a way to integrate the unobtainium into the device's core. As the minutes ticked by, Lyra and Kix's invention began to take shape once more. The energy readings stabilized, and the dark matter containment field held strong. With just moments to spare, they completed their repairs and rushed to the competition arena. The other teams had already presented their inventions, each one more impressive than the last. But when Lyra and Kix took the stage, a hush fell over the crowd. Their device, pulsing with an eerie blue light, seemed to defy the very laws of physics. As they demonstrated its capabilities, the judges and spectators alike watched in awe. The device harnessed the power of dark matter with an efficiency and stability that had never been seen before. It was a true marvel of engineering, a testament to the power of collaboration and innovation. When the final scores were tallied, there was no doubt in anyone's mind. Lyra and Kix had won the competition, earning the highest marks in the history of the Galactic engineering competition. As they stood on the podium, basking in the applause and adulation of the crowd, Lyra caught sight of Zorax in the audience. His face was twisted with rage and disbelief, unable to comprehend how a human and an outcast had beaten him. But Lyra felt no anger toward Zorax, only pity. She knew that his actions had been driven by fear and insecurity, a desperate attempt to cling to his own perceived superiority. In that moment, she realized that true greatness came not from tearing others down, but from lifting them up. As the medal was placed around her neck, Lyra turned to Kix and smiled. "We did it," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "We showed them what humans and aliens can achieve when they work together." Kix returned her smile, his eyes shining with pride and respect. "No," he said softly. "You showed them what one remarkable human can do when she refuses to let anyone define her limits." A new era begins. News of Lyra and Kix's triumph at the Galactic engineering competition spread like wildfire throughout the universe. Media outlets from every corner of the cosmos clamored for interviews with the unlikely duo, eager to hear the story of how a human and a Zephyrian had achieved the impossible. Lyra found herself thrust into the spotlight, her face plastered across holographic billboards, and her name whispered in awe by countless alien tongues. But she remained humble, always quick to credit Kix and the power of their partnership. As the accolades poured in, something even more remarkable began to happen. More and more human students began to enroll at the Galactic Academy, each one inspired by Lyra's example. They came from all walks of life, from the sprawling cities of Earth to the distant colonies on Mars and beyond. At first, the alien students and faculty were wary of this influx of humans, but as they saw the dedication, creativity, and resilience that these new students brought to the Academy, their attitudes began to shift. Humans were no longer seen as primitive or inferior, but as valuable contributors to the galactic community. Lyra watched this change unfold with a sense of pride and wonder. She had set out to prove herself, to show that humans had a place among the stars. But in the process, she had done something far greater. She had opened the door for countless others to follow in her footsteps, to bridge the gap between humans and aliens. As she sat in the Academy's Grand Hall, surrounded by her alien classmates and professors, Lyra reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. She thought of the challenges she had faced, the obstacles she had overcome, and the friendships she had forged along the way. She thought of Kix, the outcast who had become her closest ally, and of Zorax, the rival who had ultimately learned the true meaning of greatness. She thought of her professors, who had challenged her to be her best self, and of the countless alien students who had come to see her as a leader and a friend. Looking out at the sea of faces before her, Lyra knew that her journey was far from over. There were still more discoveries to be made, more boundaries to be broken, and more minds to be changed. But she also knew that she was not alone in this endeavor. With a smile on her face and a fire in her heart, Lyra stood up to address the crowd. "My fellow students," she began, her voice ringing out clear and strong. "Today, we stand at the threshold of a new era. An era in which humans and aliens work side by side, learning from each other and pushing the boundaries of what is possible. An era in which the only limit to what we can achieve is the limit of our own imagination." As the hall erupted in applause, Lyra felt a sense of hope and excitement wash over her. The future was bright, and she knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, she would face them head-on, armed with the knowledge, skills, and friendships she had gained at the Galactic Academy. And so, as the story of Lyra's journey came to a close, a new chapter began, one filled with the promise of greater understanding, cooperation, and unity between humans and aliens. It was a chapter that would be written by the countless students who followed in her footsteps, each one leaving their own mark on the cosmos. For Lyra had shown them the way, and now it was up to them to carry the torch forward, to build a future in which the stars were not the limit, but only the beginning.